Just to forewarn all you guys, this video will contain a few spoilers, so be ready. Sup guys, Catastrophe here, and literally yesterday I just saw Finding Dory and it was amazing. That's enough said about this movie. Video over, never mind. So I just saw Finding Dory like a day ago, and you guys are gonna see this later, so... But time for the review. So Finding Dory is about Dory who suddenly gets memories, which is a breakthrough because she has short-term memory loss, and decides to go out and try to find her parents, her family, and I gotta say, this has such a feels fest. Like, not only do you get the nostalgia from the original Finding Nemo, which was a really great movie, even though when I was 3 I was scared of the anglerfish, but that being said. But like the nostalgia from like the sea turtles and then Marlin and then Dory and all this stuff, and it's great. And then when you get the feels from this original movie, which shows like Dory when she was a kid, and I almost physically died in the theater within like the first like 3 minutes. And it was incredible. Like, not only do you get to see how Dory when she was a kid and was with her family and then eventually she got separated for some reason, we also get to see like how she's growing up trying to find her parents, and like with her memory loss she keeps on forgetting like what she's looking for. She even asks like at certain points like, hey, do you know if I was supposed to be looking for something? That is actually scary to think about. Like, I would not want to be like that. I mean, the thought of how I would be so forgetful to the point that I would forget that I was trying to find my family, that's scary to me. But then it carries on to the point where you actually do see Marlin and how they interact and how like she ends up meeting him, and it's incredible. So I gotta say, this is a really good thing to sort of integrate and blend well, but the scene kind of went a little fast-paced than I wanted it to. I wanted it to try to like just integrate into the original scene and that would be it, but no, we just, you know, try to speed it up. But to get on to the main story, the story itself actually is really cool because it revolves around Dory, played by Ellen DeGeneres, which is absolutely phenomenal. Like, there are times when I'll see like super big celebrities play roles in movies and I'm like, well, you did a good job, but I don't know if you were like spot on. But then again, most times when celebrities do play roles, they do a really good job. And with Ellen DeGeneres, this was fantastic. Or should I say fantastic? No fish jokes. And then we eventually go into this new area, like we go into like all this different stuff where we see all these new characters, which are all pretty decent and actually are all really fun. Like, we have Hank the octopus, who's like so funny, and I actually for some reason thought that he was going to be the villain of the film. Like, he didn't turn out to be the villain, but it's just like, you know, he's cranky, and then it kind of seems like he's trying to just trick her and then do something else. Kind of like Lotso from Toy Story 3, but eh. And then we have Destiny and Bailey, who are a whale shark and a beluga whale, who both seem to have like something up with them. I mean, Destiny has bad eyesight, and Bailey is a hypochondriac. Well, kind of a hypochondriac. He just doesn't believe he can echolocate. And then we have Marlin and Nemo, who aren't exactly the biggest characters of the film, which is logical because the movie's called Finding Dory. But Marlin seemed a little bit more of a jerk in this film. Like, I'm not trying to be rude, but like in the first one, it's understandable as to why he acts the way he does. He's very shaky. He doesn't want his family to get hurt. His family being Nemo, who is his only kid. But the way that he acts towards Dory, like, you can sense his frustration with her, like, so quickly, and how he's trying to go back to his old lifestyle, and it just doesn't work. But I feel like the parts I'm gonna be straight up honest and say that the parts with Nemo and Marlin were kind of repetitive, because like it's always like Nemo going, well, you could just like always like sort of talking back to his dad, and I'm kind of like, well, that was good. It was funny like the first 2 times, and then we can kind of dial it back. But I gotta say it was really cool because they had like a whole bunch of different characters. Like they had Eugene Levy in this. They had Idris Elba. Idris Elba has been in like a few different animated movies. And yes, I'm talking about Zootopia. Zootopia is awesome. So in terms of how the story really impacted me, it felt a little more fast-paced and not as emotional as Finding Nemo. Now it definitely was emotional, but it just didn't have like the deep somber tones that the first one had. Cause like the first one had like all those moments where it just kind of slows down, and then like you really get a feel for the characters, and I feel like those were like tearjerkers, like if you first see the movie. But in this one, the moments that do pull at your heartstrings only happen like for not too long, so you don't get the appropriate amount of time to cry. Like I wanted to cry at this movie, I really did, but I didn't have enough time to. So that being said, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was so much fun to watch, and I thought it was just really enjoyable. So will I watch it again? Yes. Will I buy the movie on Blu-ray? Heck yes. In short, Finding Dory is amazing. If I had to choose, I would give it maybe 10 out of 10. That's so reasonable, right? Okay, so that was my review of Finding Dory. I'm sorry that I didn't do a review of Zootopia. I really wanted to do it, but I didn't get enough time for it, and by the time that I was able to do it, it just didn't work out. So I'm really sorry. But I did love Zootopia, and I love Finding Dory. So yeah, if you've seen both of them, why not write in the comments? Do you think one was better, or do you think that both of them are equally good? But I love them both equally. So, really hope you enjoyed. If you did, then like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Check out my DeviantArt page, see what's there, and I will see you next time. Till then, peace out.